can you relate customary units of capacity? Understanding this will help make measuring amounts easier. Capacity is the amount a container can hold, measured in liquid units. Here are some customary units for measuring capacity. 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon, 1 fluid ounce, 1 cup, 1 pint, 1 quart, and 1 gallon. How are they related? Look at the units for measuring capacity. Can you give some examples of things you can measure using a cup, a pint, a quart, and a gallon? Here are some examples of things you can measure with the customary units of capacity. Cup, sugar in a recipe. Pint, a large glass of milk. Quart, a carton of juice. Gallons, a tub of water. The table shows how the customary units of capacity are related. Think about where you have seen or used these kinds of measures. Which would be most appropriate to measure about how much water a kitchen sink holds? Choose the most appropriate unit to measure. Why do you need to choose an appropriate unit to measure? You want to measure in units that make sense. For smaller amounts, you will use smaller units. For larger amounts, you will use larger units. Would it make sense to use a teaspoon, tablespoon, fluid ounce, cup, pint, or quart to fill the kitchen sink? Explain. It would take too long to fill a kitchen sink with a teaspoon, tablespoon, fluid ounce, cup, pint, or quart. The most appropriate unit to use would be the gallon. Now that you have chosen the appropriate unit to measure, estimate to see how many gallons of water it would take to fill the kitchen sink. Think about a gallon size. What is something you buy from the store that is measured in gallons? At the store, many people buy milk in 1-gallon containers. Visualize how many gallons of water it would take to fill the kitchen sink. A good estimate for the capacity of a kitchen sink is about 4 gallons. Now you can measure. What is one way to measure the amount of water that can fill the kitchen sink? You can fill a 1-gallon jug with water and pour it into the sink. Do this until the sink is full. Then count how many 1-gallon jugs were used to fill the sink. How many 1-gallon jugs were used to fill the sink? 5 1-gallon jugs were used to fill the sink. The sink has a capacity of about 5 gallons. Can you use more than one unit of measurement to find the capacity of something? Yes, you can use smaller or larger units. If you use smaller units, it will take more time to fill the sink, but your estimate of capacity will be more accurate. If you use larger units, you will fill the sink in less time, but your estimate of capacity will be less accurate. You have learned how to relate customary units of capacity. Try to identify several everyday items that contain different capacities.